All right, people. I think I've got a pretty good connection today. It's a miracle. There I was watching TV. I got it on ID, of course. And I get triggered. My PTSD flared up. And I'm like, I don't buy this about codename Nietzsche and her reason for not reporting some 2,100 time crazy rapist. Supposed 2,100 time crazy rapist. You heard me, folks. No DNA, not one drop. You'd think there'd be Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets full of it. But no. Okay, I don't buy it that there's some sort of trauma-induced psychosis there that just won't allow it. Okay? And yes, I'm kind of angry, and I do apologize for that. Excuse me. I did take some Mucilex earlier, but I guess it hasn't kicked in yet. Mucinex. Because if she had a trauma-induced psychosis that wouldn't allow, paralyzed her thinking or whatever, and wouldn't allow her to make a well-needed report. And yeah, I can see if that was really happening, that it would be a well-needed report. I'm not so stone cold and, unbending that I can't understand that, but I do understand that. Because she made the reports about me to her mother after I called the cops on her. If you remember my crazy story. Okay? So, how do you have a trauma-induced psychosis that disallows you from reporting a crime in one direction, but in the other direction, that suddenly just walks out the door and you can report a crime then? Or make up a story then? Or report, whatever. I don't think it's a walking pneumonia kind of thing. I think if you got trauma-induced psychosis, you got it. It's thorough. It's 100%. It's not like, well, I got it when it comes to, macaroni and cheese, but when it comes to Philly steak and cheese, I'm fine. I don't have it then. You get my drift? And I think part of the thing she was telling us all along, at several different points in time, because we used to keep candles on the dining room table. Part of it was because we just didn't have electricity in the dining room. So, to supplement that at evening meals, we lit the candles. Well, from our 12 and 12 groups, some of you might already know this if you were ever a member and attended, that we sometimes, I don't know about other groups, but would have candlelight meetings. And that was to encourage people to talk without feeling intimidated. Because sometimes people will talk if they don't have a lot of light on them, and they're all being ID'd or, here's someone sitting and sketching the person while they're talking, and they got the recorder running, like, here's the face that goes with the words. So the candlelight made people feel a little more comfortable to be able to talk about whatever was on their mind when we were having closed meetings. Those were for closed meetings mostly. I remember one, though, I think on, I believe it was the New Year's Eve meeting, that they did do the candlelight, and it was to encourage whoever, because people there, if they weren't actual members, they were there in support of the actual member, so they might have something to add too. It just went that way. But I'm not buying it. We're almost through this whole mess, Okay, and I'm sure there's going to be um, more to have to get through that accompanies that, you know. I'm not sure how, but for the sentence part of it, we'll be over it pretty soon. And it's still not a comfortable situation, you know. She got her way, why can't she be content? You know? Got my way. I'm going to wander off. I'm going to go do something else, you know, keep my mind off it. Well, I've got my own trauma thing. I'm sometimes psychic. I don't advertise it. I don't do it for money. But at times, I'm psychic. And there are a few people who realize that and have understood that and have even been involved with me in that. But I do feel her at times looking right at me, involving herself, and it's not a good thing. You know, even then I couldn't just be scared all the time in my own home. What kind of life is that? Well, I haven't got that great of a life now either, but I wouldn't have had if it had gone the other way as well. You know, it could have worked out that, oh, Karen, you're making this all up, you know. Get out of here. And then, well, I'm not sure now what I was going to say with it, where that was going, but it could have gone the other way. It didn't. But I'm thinking of a lot of ways, a lot of reasons that it should have. You know, in all this meantime that I've had, you know, in the meanwhile, I've got so much other that comes up, like that came up today for whatever reason that was, whatever triggered me on TV. It just can't go both ways. I just don't. It's not a two-way street right then. If you're too traumatized in one instance to call attention to someone causing you a problem, then you're probably too traumatized to bring attention to the next person who's causing you problems. You know, it can't be like on again, off again, hit and miss. So my contention of it is, if she could make reports against me, then she could make reports against a crazy supposed rapist. That's my take on it. But she doesn't need to be flaming me. It's almost as if I'm targeted even from wherever she is. She's got the advantage. Like, so-and-so's gone. That leaves me, you know. That's kind of like saying without saying, don't even pay attention to her, she's not here. Whether I am or not. Because I am. But then, the advantage she has is she's not having to prove who these people that she said I was at are. What are they doing? Why didn't they help? There was something else earlier too, but I don't know if I can think of it. Why aren't they more useful? Why don't they have anything to say about these screencasts or my posts? You know, they're the quietest bunch of wannabes I've ever heard of. Don't they get into any trouble either? Even there for a while, they wanted me to take on that I had alter egos, and that's supposed to explain why I didn't know I was somewhere. Well, demand to see receipts. demand to see different clothing articles, demand to see different hairstyles. Did they wear glasses? Did the alter egos eat something the supposed host of the alter ego wouldn't eat? Like, personally, I don't eat shrimp. I just don't have a taste for it. To me, it smells bad. So would my alter ego end up eating shrimp? Or other seafood that I've decided I don't care for? You know? There's got to be something. It can't be click, 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 win, 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 on down the line for Codename Nietzsche, and that's what it was. But see, that one-sided story, that's the whole thing that's got me so bothered. We were never allowed to give our part of the story. Why is that? It's almost as if, well, we've made up our mind. It's like the Bible. It's that way, and there's only that way, and there's no other way. And if you say there's another way, then you're a terrorist, or you're, some, I don't know what, evil person. Truth has more sides than one. I do know that. Because the more people you get in to view a certain situation, the more different angles you have. And because the people are different, they're going to see different things in different ways. Maybe I'm retarded, right? Anyway, thanks for letting me get this off my mind.